Hello, hello, hello. So if you're tuning in, make sure, I think you can hear me. I'm testing out these wireless headphones today to see if the audio is better compared to the last time when I did a live, just to make sure you guys can hear me loud and clear. And today we're going to have Brooke on. She's going to be talking about self-belief and getting rid of self-doubt. And she's an accredited transformation coach and NLP master practitioner. So I'm super excited for you all. And oh, perfect. She requested to join. Let me. And we're waiting for the connection. I think, oh, it worked. Perfect.
Hello.
Hi, Brooke.
Hi. It's so
How are you doing?
to meet you, kind of face to
I
face.
know. I know, right? It's so great that we're actually able to do this. If you guys don't know, I reached out to her I think, 2 weeks ago, and because I saw her profile and we were following each other, and I loved her content and her energy, and I thought you guys would love and benefit from her as well. So I'm super excited she's on. So I just wanted her to introduce herself and tell her about herself.
Yeah, well, I'm super excited to be here. Thank you for having me. Likewise, I love your energy. When you reached out to me, I went through your stuff. You shared some really great and helpful things. So hopefully I can boost that for your audience today. But yes, Christina, you did a lovely intro. I am a transformation coach, accredited transformation coach, and an NLP master practitioner. My background is in psychology. Specifically, I was in cognitive behavioral psychology and a mix of positive psychology. So I lost my train of thought there. For anyone that doesn't know, I currently have COVID, so I am a little bit sporadic. I don't sound or look or feel like my normal self. You guys won't know that.
You look amazing.
You guys won't be aware, but just so you know, if I have a little bit of a moment, that keeps happening. My thoughts keep running away from me, so do bear with me. But my point was, my background is in psychology. A lot of what I'm going to deliver today comes from that, but do not worry, I steer clear of the psychological jargon. I want this to be applicable. I want people to be able to use this, engage with it. So I will give you what you need to know without the ins and outs of a psychology degree. But yes, today, self-belief, a beautiful topic, one of my favorite topics. I think I'm still yet to coach a client where I haven't worked on a self-belief level. And I know for your audience, this should be really helpful. We have a lot of like network marketers and people building a business, right? And trying to get themselves out there online. Self-belief is going to be everything. So this should be really helpful for you guys. So well done for tuning in. Thank you for having me here. And let's get us believing in ourselves, yeah?
Awesome. So let's dive into the first part of defining self-belief so people get clear on that, because I definitely, when I approached you, I was kind of like, let's talk about, motivation things. Yeah. You're like, well, let's get clear on that. So I want you to kind of define it so everyone's on the same path.
Absolutely. And I think that's also is so important to make sure we're all talking about the same thing, because self-belief, self-esteem, self-worth, there's so many terms to throw around, and honestly, whatever your definition, whatever the way you see self-belief being, that will be what's most powerful for you, because that is the way you resonate with it. But for the sake of the training, just so you know that when I throw out that term self-belief, just so we can all be on the same page, it is just that, the extent to which you believe in yourself. So you will generally kind of either resonate more with, I can't do this. I can't do this. I'll never be able to do that. That's just unrealistic. If that's something that feels true, then you have low self-belief. Whereas if you are someone who can say, I can do this, I'm going to do this, you may have wobbly days, but overall you foresee your vision being achieved, then you have high self-belief. And it is just that we generally either are kind of low or high. You don't really have too many people that sit in the middle, and we either sit in our self-doubt, this I can't do this, or our self-belief where I can do this. Is that all?
Yeah, that makes so sense.
I think that's just about it. I'm not
if you guys have any questions, always ask. No, and that makes so much sense and so clear. And of course, I know a lot of you messaged me and said you're at work today. So there is going to be a replay. So of course, if you have questions that come up, leave them in the comments because Brooke will see this. I'll tag her information. We'll of course tell you how to get in contact with her in the end. But we got to move forward to like the belief cycle and how that kind of works because I have no idea about that.
Oh my goodness, you're going to be in for a treat. So the self-belief is everything. It is literally everything. It's so commonly overlooked that people think, you know, well, as long as I put the action in, as long as I do the things, everything will come into fruition. And there is so much more to it than that. And that is really where the psychology comes into it, that self-belief is more powerful than just the pleasant feeling of, you know, not having self-doubt. It's more than it feeling good. It's more than it making it easy. The self-belief is everything. So if you are big in the mindset world, you probably will be familiar with the famous Henry Ford quote, whether you believe you can or you can't, you're probably right. And there is a lot of science behind that. If you've ever read the book Think and Grow Rich, I would highly recommend it if you haven't. But it is essentially an accumulation of interviews and experience from people who have achieved their dreams, who have got what they want. They're rich. They're, you know, in every sense of the word. And the huge theme across these people is they believed in themselves. They thought that they were going to be this person, and it came that way. And the reason it works that way is because of the belief cycle. So this will underpin everything. Everything you do in life will come back to this. And it's the basic understanding that the results we have in life, any of them, the good, the bad, the helpful, the unhelpful, and result just being life. What are we experiencing right now? What's going on for us right now? Are we achieving our goals or are we not? That result is is directly determined by your action. No secrets there. The things that we have in life, the results we get in life, is from what we do. If you fill the day with, you know, unaligned action of maybe watching TV, you know, not working on your goals, scrolling through social media, that's not going to create the result you want. And there will be actions that do. However, the action that you take is directly determined by the way that you feel. And that makes sense because, I mean, just an example for me, something that a lot of you can resonate with if you spend a lot of time on social media, replying to comments. Let's say, you know, you put a post out and it gets loads of comments, and on this particular moment when you come to respond to your comments, you're tired. You're tired, you just want to get it done quickly. You're not feeling your best. You're going to maybe kind of skim over the comments, give a half-hearted kind of reply. But if you came to that feeling inspired, feeling really connected, coming from a really helpful place, you're going to gain a lot more out of that than just replying to comments. You're going to really feel what people are saying. You're going to feel that connection. You're going to feel that impact that you're putting out. The action remains the same, but the result at the end of it is hugely determined by that feeling. The way that you feel determined directly by what you think. A lot of people don't believe me on that, but it is. Every single feeling starts with a thought. Everything we feel comes from our mind. If you are feeling crappy, chances are your focus is on something crappy. When we're feeling great, chances are our focus is on something great. And then up right at the top of that, your thoughts are determined by your beliefs. So what happens is, when this cycle is working, when this cycle is in full flow, you believe in yourself. You believe that all your dreams are going to come true. Everything's going to happen exactly as you want it to. So that's where your thoughts are. Your thoughts are centered around how is this going to work, you know, and looking out for those successes. You are tuned in to everything going right, and that's where your focus is. So there's going to be reflected in the way that you feel. It's going to be reflected in the action that you take. And then that's when we start getting these results, these aligned results, the results that we want. The truth is, if you don't believe you're capable, it will not happen. And the reason for that is because of what's called, these are horrible words, but I will explain what it is afterwards. It's what's called an internal and external subconscious moderation by belief. And it's just people like to use words to make themselves feel clever. It is just the concept that everything you see outside of yourself, your perception of the world, and everything that goes on internally is first moderated by your beliefs. So this might be a bit of a mind-blowing moment for you guys, but I'm going to give you just some information that you need to kind of understand this. I'm going to unpack this and why you need this, and I'll make it real simple. Important to note, I've studied this in and out for a very long time, so for me it can roll off the tongue. It makes perfect sense inside my head. And for, you know, if you're hearing this for the first time, it's okay if it doesn't make sense yet. It's okay if it's confusing, and just say, hold up, what did you mean? What does that mean? Give me an example, and we'll go back over it. Because for you to really take what you need out of this training today, I'd love for you to understand this concept. So a nice way of explaining this is I have a computer mouse. Bear with me, guys. Method to my madness. We have a computer mouse here. Now, this computer mouse, it has physical matter. It's here. It's in our real world. We can see it. We can feel it. We can touch it. However, what I'm seeing, what you're seeing, what Christina is seeing, is not the mouse itself. You're seeing your mind's reconstruction of the mouse. So no one actually sees reality. No one actually sees the real world. What we see is our own mind's reconstruction of what's going on in front of us. So this is why, you know, dogs can't see color. Doesn't mean color isn't there. We can't hear certain frequencies. It doesn't mean they're not there. Our senses take the information around us and they recreate the world that we see. And this is, you know, everything is different for everyone. Color is different for everyone. This is why people can go through the same experience and pull something very different out of it. Now, every second you're receiving 4 million pieces of information. 4 million. Your conscious mind, the bit that you're using right now to listen to me, the bit that I'm using right now to talk, basically your awareness. Your conscious mind is your awareness. That can handle 7 to 9 of those pieces. The rest has to go. It has to go. It will never ever reach your awareness. And if you've ever seen, it's a really, really famous experiment. I would highly recommend going and watching it, but I'm going to ruin it for you now anyway, so it won't work.
Please share.
But there's a really lovely experiment where you are instructed. Guys, that was weird.
That was so weird. I've never had that happen before because you were just loading.
It was the opposite for me, and I was going, can anyone hear me? Can anyone hear me?
We were just in our own little world.
Literally. So, I know you're all thinking, what the hell was she just talking about?
We're talking to yourself.
I'll pick up from where we were. So if everything's confusing and a mess, it's fine, it's perfect, it's just how it should be. I'm going to make sense of it all now. No one worry. So there's this really lovely experiment that explains this very well. Everyone can hear me, right?
Thumbs up.
Good, okay. And essentially it's this YouTube video, okay, and you open it up and you see these two basketball teams. One is dressed in white, one is dressed in colours. And you're given the instruction to count how many times the players in white bounce the basketball. And it's very difficult. It's quite difficult to do. But you do it. You watch it. You count them. And then at the end, it plays the video back and asks if you notice the dancing gorilla in the background. And lo and behold, you take the video all the way back to the beginning and there's a big dancing gorilla in the background. Now, what happened here was your mind had something to focus on, the bouncy balls. Everything else had to go. Nothing else mattered. It wasn't relevant. There was no point in paying attention to it. And that's how that filtering process works. It's called a filtering process. You have all this information outside of you, and your mind takes some of it and shows it to you. And the rest has to go. No, we'll leave it as that. The rest goes. Now, the reason we care about that, the reason it matters, is because what your subconscious is using to filter that information, first and foremost, is your beliefs. So this is how the belief cycle works. Your perception is built on your belief. And I'll give you an example now to explain how the beliefs are building your perception. So let's say there's two people walking down the road. One person is terrified of dogs. They hold the belief that dogs are dangerous, dogs are bad, dogs are scary. And the other person loves dogs. They hold the belief that dogs are amazing. Dogs bring so much joy, so much fun. And then let's say a dog starts coming down the road. Maybe it does a couple barks and it's running towards them. The first person who's scared is going to see a very scary facial expression on that dog. That bark's going to come across a lot more ferocious, and they're going to have a reaction of fear. They're going to want to run away. Their brain's going to be telling them that they're in danger. Now, the other person is probably going to see that dog running towards them all happy and with a really cute expression on its face, and they're going to be there with open arms. Now, neither of them are right and neither of them are wrong. What's happened is they're getting different information. They're getting different information from the dog based on that belief.
That's a really good example.
Yeah. Hopefully that will kind of make sense for people now why it matters. Because if you don't believe you are capable of achieving your dreams, what's going to happen is your brain's going to show you that. It's going to show you every single failure. It's going to show you every single person to compare yourself to downwards. It's going to show you everything it can to prove that belief true. And anything on the contrary, any comment someone says about how amazing you're doing, any bit of, reassurance, affirmation, anything that could make you feel like you're going to achieve your dream, you won't notice that. That will go. And it's important to note that the reason for that is not because your subconscious wants to hurt you. It wants to keep you safe. Your beliefs are known. You can navigate them. It can predict. Your beliefs that you currently hold have kept you alive. And that's what it cares about. If you suddenly want to start doing stuff that doesn't fit your belief, this is when we find self-sabotage. This is when we find procrastination. This is when we find, why are we holding ourselves back and we're doing all these weird things that is ruining our progress and we can't quite explain why. We're talking ourselves out of it. We're coming up with excuses. And that's because that process that your subconscious is doing to build your perception based on your beliefs is doing it on the inside. So, for example, I have clients that tell me I can't be happy. Until that belief is gone, they will never feel happy, because your subconscious is in charge of 95% of everything you think, say, feel, and do. And again, all it cares about is that you fit your belief. It's called congruency. That's all it cares about. So if you are holding the belief, I am not capable of doing this, every single time you go to do it, it's going to either make you feel tired. It's going to start putting negative thoughts in your head. It's going to start showing you it going really wrong. It's going to start making you feel fear, feel apprehension, because that's what it does. However, if you're on the same page, if your belief is that I'm going to do this, I'm going to kill this, you're going to wake up with so much energy, so much motivation. You're going to flow through it. The whole thing becomes not only easier, but actually possible. Because the whole purpose of your subconscious, which controls 95% of what you do, is to prove you right. So if you are holding belief that I can do this, it will take care of that for you. You can rest assured you're going to do it. And when that book, Think and Grow Rich, was written, they didn't understand why it worked that way. Now we do. There's so much research in this. It's proven time and time again. Everything going on inside, everything going on outside, first moderated by your beliefs. And it's because our brain it will always follow what is predictable, what is comfortable, what is known. So if we're holding beliefs in there, good things don't happen to people like me. I'm not good enough. I'm not confident enough. I'm not strong enough. It's just not realistic. It's not doable. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough resources. I don't know the right people. You're going to make that true. Your subconscious is going to make that true.
Because you
just
keep reiterating it over and over again.
Yeah. And what will happen is every thought you think, every emotion you have, every single place you put your attention, the information that comes through to you will make that belief true. And this is how we say, change the internal to change the external. And this is what it means when we say, we are the creators of our reality. Your reality gets deep, guys, but your reality isn't here. Because no one's seeing the real world. No one. It's built inside your brain, and then you see it from inside your brain. And hopefully that all makes sense, because this is the awareness I want to give you guys as to why this stuff
Mhm.
matters. It's more than just putting the work in, you know, taking the action. Of course, you need that, and nothing will change if you don't change anything. But to believe in yourself is the first step. Because if you're in that you're capable.
Bars, which is so strange because I'm saving these videos, so at the end I'm gonna download them and upload them so it makes sense for everyone because they're uploading, so there's no internet issue over here and from your end too. So
So weird.
let's chalk it up to that we're across in different countries.
Yeah, if it is me, I am so sorry. I can't figure out what I'm doing. I do have like full bars on my internet, and I think Instagram might be having a meltdown. I don't know.
We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. But the good news is, guys, I'm done with the psychological stuff. I'm done with all the big words and all the science, and it's now about how do we get the strong self-belief then? How do we get this? How do we get this magical thing? From your perspective, Christina, do you think that made sense? I'm good there. I'm good to move on.
Yes, that made so much sense. And of course, if you're watching this now or later on, let us know down in the comments as well, because I'm really curious. And I know, because I had someone earlier ask, like, how do you have the confidence? How do you have courage to do things? And I don't want to get in this field too much because this is your field, but why do some people have it and some people don't?
Yeah. And no, this is our field, you know, and I'm sure you have so much to bring here that I don't know. We can all learn from each other, but it is that it's actually kind of goes a little bit off topic, but it's really interesting, you know, what you say there. There is no such thing as a confident person or a shy person. That is the truth. It is a feeling. Feelings are not traits. It's not part of your personality. It's not who you are. It is a certain balance of chemicals, and that is it. If you cannot feel confident, it's because you're telling yourself, I am a shy person. And then you have this belief cycle to run through. So if you are trying to feel confident, but you're identifying as a shy person, you hold the belief, I am shy, you're not going to feel confident because of this process. It is just that. This is what, I mean, this will underpin everything. So if anything doesn't make sense, feel free, you know, to drop it in the comments. I'll come back round and elaborate on it. But let's put this information in a way you can do something with it. Let's get ourselves some strong self-belief and get rid of that self-doubt.
Some action taking.
Yeah, let's take some action. Let's do it. So, honestly, I don't want to be that girl. You're going to hate me. Get a coach. Get a coach. First and foremost, there is no replacement. There is no anything that will be as...
So this is just bizarre. I've never had this happen so many times. So,
no, this is crazy. Right.
So frustrating. Okay, let's continue.
I'm going to get the tips out. We're going to get the tips out. So get a coach, because you have your own blind spots. That is it. You might be holding a belief that in reality is holding you back, is not true, but you are just adamant that it is. And until you have someone switch that perspective, shine it in a different light, you may struggle to remove that. However, that being said, if you are not in a position to get a coach, or if you really are adamant at doing this work independently yourself, all is not lost. There are still things that you can do to increase your self-belief and remove this self-doubt. So self-belief will kind of naturally grow as you get more evidence that you can do this, you know, that this is going to become possible. It is that element of seeing something and then believing it. However, what is far more powerful and is the way it kind of works more is you have to believe it first to see it. Because of that filtering process, chances are there's so much evidence around you to instill strong self-belief that you're not picking up on, because it doesn't fit your current beliefs. It doesn't fit your current worldview. So the first thing you need to do is get out any beliefs that are stopping this evidence coming through to you and helping you build a nice new belief that you believe in yourself, that you can do this. And the first way to do that is to identify what are these beliefs? What are the limiting beliefs? What are the things I'm holding on to, I'm telling myself, I'm believing, that are holding me back? And this is why it's good to have a coach, because a coach will be able to find these things for you and show them to you. as you talk, as you explain, well, I couldn't do this because and they'll be able to pick up on that. However, if you want to do it yourself, a good way to find these beliefs, find these things you need to change, is to ask yourself, why don't I believe I can do this? Or why don't I believe this is possible? Or why don't I believe I can be confident? Or why don't I believe I can make 10 sales this month? Or whatever it is. And then pay attention to the lies that you start giving. The BS. I don't have enough money. I'm not strong enough. I don't know enough. I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not that. The excuses that come up. Okay, and what's important here, guys, is you may resonate at this moment in time. You may be convinced that they're true. You may be convinced that's not a lie. That's not BS. That's the truth. I don't have a lot of money. I don't have enough money. What I want you to understand is that the beliefs don't actually have to be true in order for your brain to use them. And if it's using them, its job is to make them true. And this is where we get things like money blocks. People probably had money mindset. If you're telling yourself, I can't afford it, I don't have enough money, your subconscious is going to do its job to try and keep you there. So money comes in, we spend it really quick. Or, you know, maybe an opportunity comes up and we don't really take it, even though it could pay a lot. We've kind of talked ourselves out of it. And what happens is we end up staying within this belief. If you want the opposite, if you'd love to have loads of money, if you'd love to have loads of confidence, if you'd love to have loads of sales, loads of traffic for your business, we got to start believing it's going to happen. It won't happen until we do. So the first thing is identify your limiting beliefs, what's holding you back. And what I want you to pay attention to is not whether it's true or false. Let go of that. Let go of it for the time being and focus on, is it helpful or unhelpful? Does it serve me or does it limit me? Let go of true and false, because they're just opinions. In reality, a belief is a strongly held opinion. They can never be true or false. And by holding it, that's what makes it true. So it may be a bit of an uncomfortable process of trying to shift something that you currently feel is true, but bear with me, stick with it. Here we're just identifying what are these things that are holding us back? What are these beliefs that subconscious is using in that way that's not serving me? It's not helping get me to my goal. And just find them. Then you need to decide, well, what do I want to believe instead? Generally, it's nice to go for the direct opposite. Sometimes you can do like a little bridge. So say you're believing I'm not good enough. That's something you want to get rid of. And you'd love to believe that you are more than enough. A nice middle ground, if that's too far for you, is I am enough. Or sometimes it can be just powerful to just go straight for the opposite. Again, we're not doing anything here. I just want you to identify, what would I like to believe instead? If I could choose, if I could make anything true, what would I put there instead? And guys, it should be, I can do this. I believe in myself. It's going to happen. I'm going to be her. I'm going to be that girl. I'm going to do all the things. Whatever it is you want there instead. And then we're going to use a little bit of our logical mind. And our logical mind isn't concerned with beliefs. Our logical mind really doesn't do anything with these beliefs. It is that subconscious part of our mind, the bit beneath our awareness that's doing that 95% of the work. That's the bit that cares. But just to make this process a little bit more comfortable for you, I'm going to bring a little bit of logical thought into it. I need to question those limiting beliefs. I need to really ask yourself, is that true? And something can only be true if it's never, ever, ever, ever been false. So you can only be not good enough if you have never once in your life ever been enough. And I need to really stick with this and find the evidence and bring it to the forefront of your mind that actually this belief might not be true. And then even if you can't quite shift it at that level, I want you to think, is it logical? Is this a logical belief? Something like, good things don't happen to people like me. How logical is that? How many people like you actually are there? And how aware are you of all of their outcomes? And really be stern with yourselves, guys, here, because what you're doing now, this logical thought, your subconscious can't do that. When it first got the belief, it never did that. It never bothered to ask, is this true? Is this real? Is it logical? It just took it. So do that work now. Do that work that was never done just to give yourself that extra boost to start shifting this belief. And then finally, is it constructive? Do I want it? Do I want it here? Remember, guys, the truth is your reality is the reflection of the inside. The world we see is built inside here. Make it how you want it. Do you really want to believe that nothing good is ever going to happen to you? Or do you want to believe you're going to smash every single goal? I know what I'd rather pick. And the choice genuinely is yours. Genuinely, you can believe whatever you want to believe. Because here is the magic bit. Whatever these list of beliefs that you've decided you want instead, you don't need to presently believe them. That's the job of your subconscious. The reason you believe the beliefs you do in the first place is because of your subconscious. Your subconscious made it true. It pinpicked all the things you need to believe it and rejected everything else. It moderated everything going on inside and probably has done for years. It's probably been burying down your confidence or your joy or whatever it is you're needing that you don't have. It's been burying that down for years and making this true. The beliefs you want to believe, you don't need to presently believe them. So don't worry about that. That's the role of your subconscious. We're going to give it that, and it's going to make that true for you. And this is where we're going to get into it, guys. No surprises here, I'm sure. Affirmations. If you start telling yourself every single day, I am a confident person, it won't take long. It really won't take that long. The job of your subconscious 100% of the time is to prove you right. If you give it the belief, I am confident, lo and behold, here we are. Here's all your confidence. Here's all that confidence that you have. You're a confident person, remember? That's its job. That's its role. So it may seem trivial. Okay, this is what I'm going to give you guys. Affirmations. Those beliefs you want to have, I need to tell yourself every single day in the mirror. Write it down. Sing it to yourself. Well, however you want to do it. Tell yourself every single day, and your subconscious will grab that and it will make it true. And if that seems trivial, your belief was created with words in the first place. That's how you made your belief. People think we get given them. People think, you know, when we find a limiting belief, something like I'm not good enough, or no one will love me, or I'm not capable of running a business, I'm not technologically advanced, I'm not good at communicating with people. We can pinprick like a memory where we think that's come from, where maybe someone told us you're no good, or someone rejected us, or someone did something. That's and the truth is, they did not give you that belief. Because I need to imagine there's probably tons of scenarios in your life where someone's told you, you can't do that. You can't do that. You're never going to be able to do that. You can't do that. And all it's done is build that fuel. You've gone, yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. And it's just, you know, you want to prove them wrong. It's not until the moment you go, I'm not good enough. They're all right. I'm not good enough. That is when the belief is formed. It's your words that will undo that. You cannot hold two contradictory beliefs at the same time. So your job is to strengthen the new belief, and naturally your subconscious will kick the old one out. It will follow whatever one is used most. So you'll have a weird period where some days you have that confidence and other days you don't, and then it's back in, and then it's not, and that's just this period of while it's choosing, what one do we use more? What one do we need? What one keeps us safer? And eventually, if you just keep pouring the effort into the new one, that weight will tip over and the old one will go. Now, that seems so simple, but I have literally seen people change lives with affirmations. You'd be amazed with what you can do.
So with affirmations, do you recommend, people write their own affirmations, or they go to YouTube or download books, or from their coach, of course? Is that how they find affirmations, or where would you recommend?
Beautiful question. Always, always, always your own, because it has significant impact for you. It's the one that you need. If you are currently believing, I am never going to succeed in my business, you can see clear as day that you need, I am going to succeed in my business. You know what you'd love to believe. You know what you want to believe. And you get these videos of, I am amazing, I'm fantastic, I am beautiful, I am there, I am that. They might do something, but they don't have that significance. They don't have that personal power. And what is really important, I'm so glad you asked this question, because it actually completely slipped my mind. They need to be present tense. You cannot say, this is really important, guys, you cannot say, I'm going to be successful. I'm going to be enough. I am. Because the subconscious doesn't care about anything in the past or the future. It has no concept of that. Everything is now. As you think, like watching a horror movie, you're aware that you're watching a film. You're aware it's not real. You're aware it's not now, but you're scared. Your subconscious doesn't know it's not now. Your subconscious doesn't know it's not real. And it's triggering your fear response. It's doing that internal moderation.
I mean, some people like that. They're like, yes.
Yeah, no, I can't stand it. Based on what you can see, yeah. So it needs to be now. It needs to be relevant now. It doesn't care about what might happen down the line. So this is why it can be quite uncomfortable to, you know, if you believe you're shy, to stand there and say, I am confident, it's going to feel wrong, because your subconscious is trying to take that away from you. Yeah. It's trying to keep you in a safe place. It's trying to keep you in predictable land. Stick with it.
Oh, joining in. So that was a good run. We're almost to the home stretch.
Yeah, last bit, guys. Hopefully we fit this one in. It's so funny. I don't know if everyone else hears it, but every time it goes, I hear you go, ah.
I see it going. I'm like, no.
Luckily, you can put it all together and people can watch the replay and it won't have this bouncing around. But yeah, guys, literally, just to recap, your self-belief is everything, because you have your conscious willpower. Okay, you have your desire to do this. That accounts for 5%, unfortunately. 5% of everything you think, say, feel, do, see, experience, all of it. The other 95%, the ability, the subconscious power, the actual way you feel, the things you're thinking, the things that you see, the very world you're living in, all of it is built based off of your belief. So you need to believe in yourself if you want to live in a world where we achieve our dreams. And it's because of that belief cycle. If you believe that you can do this, that's where your thoughts are going to be. I can do this. I'm going to do this. I can do this. Our attention is centered on everything that's going to get us there. We're feeling excited, confident, you know, secure, and we're feeling good in ourselves. We feel like we believe in ourselves. So that action we take is going to reflect that. It's more than just getting up and reading a book or sending out 20 DMs. It comes with a... Oh my God.
Okay.
So let's just... You have to believe in yourself. Use affirmations. Do affirmations. Find the beliefs you need to get rid of. Find the ones you want to have. Affirm every single day, all day, until you believe it. If you want to know more about it, you can connect with me on my Instagram. If you hop through the link in my bio, you will find my Facebook group. That is where I have all my in-depth trainings on everything. I have an in-depth training on self-belief, changing beliefs, every single level of that cycle that I took you through. You'll find everything you need in there. And you can also just ask me, hey, what the hell was that thing you were talking about for 30 seconds before you cut off and I didn't get to cut it? But yeah, that is it. I'm sure when Christina puts this all together, it should be a really helpful, really valuable training still. And I will shoot Christina some links if you want to pop them somewhere for people to find me.
Yes, please do.
And hopefully...
I'm going to put everything in the description for you guys. You can easily get in contact with her, and there'll be the replay up and everything. And of course, if you need a bigger screen, I'm going to put it on YouTube as well, so you can go watch it there too with all her links, so they'll be clickable as well. So if you want to go find her on there, that's totally cool too. And of course, if any questions come up because it glitched out, never had these technical difficulties before, this is crazy, but leave them in the comments or message her and she'll definitely get back to you.
Yeah, I will. And thank you people for your patience. I'm going to go over this and I'm going to just go and murder whoever owns Instagram, because this was infuriating. But adapt, overcome, improvise, right? We did it.
Exactly. Because we know that your connection was good and ours. I know it was just Instagram that was the issue, so couldn't do anything about that.
Never could be us.
No. Well, we were DMing each other as it was going on. We were like, it glitched out. What the hell?
Yeah. It was just you going, that got me.
every time I saw it come out, I was like, no.
But we'll have to do this again. We'll have to do this again sometime.
We will. It was so
Instagram,
great.
and the stars are all aligned. But I'm going to send everyone lots of love in case it cuts off again.
Love you guys. All right. Bye, Brooke. I'll talk to you later.
Me.
Of course. Thank you so much for coming on.
Anytime.
Okay, bye.
Bye.